Shalom, Israel, coming back with another video. And I'm going to give all honor and glory to the Most High, which the world calls God, and which we will call Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai, which the world calls Jesus Christ. And today's topic is going to branch off on the other topic about it being the last days, basically, and wicked times and times of persecution, right? And you brothers and sisters that's trying to, link up with the Most High and trying Slakia to inherit the kingdom. We're gonna bring out some more precepts for y'all, right? Some motivational precepts, right? So we're gonna start off with Luke 14 and verse 27. Right? So first, before I get into it, the times that we're in is obviously the times of persecution. So you're not going to just walk your way into the kingdom. You're not going to walk your way into seeing the Most High, and you're not going to walk your way into being beamed up into the chariots. You actually have to work and labor and go through persecution, right, on a minor level, which is right now, right? There's brothers that's actually, coming at the men of the Lord, saying that we're terrorists and etc., but they can't really prove that, right? They go based off of Esau's fake news and fake crises, which there's videos out where the governor is actually saying, that there's actors involved, and they had 4 different lineup of people that they said did the crime, right? Then on ABC 7, I believe, they had they went into a Israelites Slacky. They went into a congregations, basically where they meet at and where they hold their sessions at, and they went in there and checked to see if they had guns and etc., and they had nothing. And they come to find out that the Israelites that did the shooting didn't have anything or any connection with the Israelites that are actually laboring in the truth and keeping the faith, right? Which we already know that. These are these false flags that the Most High set up for Esau to do, right? This is all according to the Most High's plan. This isn't unexpected. We didn't just, we just seen this and, this is unbelievable. This is something that we have expected and we've been telling y'all for a while, but, brothers that's not in the truth, they're not going to understand it until things are in front of them, right? So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, they don't like to believe what they can't see. They want to see it before they can believe it, and that's going to be your downfall. When the Most High comes back, that's going to be your downfall. And y'all going to regret that, right? And y'all going to wish y'all had the men of the Lord to talk to you and to lift you up, right? And to girdle up, to help you girdle up your loins. Well, it's going to be too late, right? So my point is that y'all brothers got to get ready for persecution, because it's only going to escalate. We can bring out the facts on how it's a lie, and brothers are still going to believe that it's the truth, because that's what the Most High ordained, man. The Most High got some brothers to just not get the truth or not understand wisdom and facts. They're blind to the truth, and they see folly. They love folly, and they definitely got their eyes open to folly, into doing folly and interacting with folly, right? But we're going to start off with Luke 14 and verse 27. And it says, "And whosoever doth not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple." This is Yahweh Shai speaking, right? So he's not saying literally go buy a cross chain. If you're not wearing your cross chain, you can't be my disciple. That's obviously not what he's talking about, because I believe in Exodus 35 and verse 3, he goes into how you cannot wear these graven images. So he's not talking about that. And a lot of scriptures are spiritual. So you got to have spiritual discernment to understand what he's speaking about. And he's talking about, when he's saying pick up your cross, meaning pick up the Bible. This is your cross. The word, your armor, this is your armor right here, and this is your cross. This word, the law, statutes, and commandments is your cross. Your faith, that's your cross. You got to pick up your cross. And he says, "Whosoever doth not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple." So if you're not picking up this holy Bible and this spiritual Bible, and you going and following after the Most High and coming after him through the scriptures, right? Then you can't be the Most High's disciple. You're a liar if you say otherwise, right? We're going to read verse 33 on that. So likewise, whosoever he be of you that forsaketh not all that he hath, he cannot be my disciple. Right? So if you're not willing to give up the things of this world, you can't be a disciple of the Most High. You can't. Because the Most High preaches against carnal things. So if you dealing with carnal things and you love carnal things, how can you be the Most High's disciple? It don't make sense. It just don't add up. It really don't. Right? And it speaks for itself, man. If you can't give up the things of this world, then you are not going to make it. Simple as that. Right? Some brothers will say, I don't have to be a disciple. I'll make it anyway. That's wrong. You can't find that in the scriptures. You can't find it nowhere. Now we're going to go to Matthew 20 and verse 20. Then came to him the mother of Zebedee. They're coming up to Yahushua. Then came to him the mother of Zebedee's children with her sons, worshiping him and desiring a certain thing of him. So they're coming up and asking for something, right? Verse 21, and he said unto her, what wilt thou? Meaning, what do you want? Or in a kind of way, what can I do for you? She saith unto him, grant that these my two sons may sit the one on thy right hand and the other on the left in thy kingdom. So obviously speaks for herself. She's asking for her two children to make it into the kingdom with him, right? Verse 22, but Yahushua answered and said, ye know not what you ask. So he's saying, basically he's telling you, getting to the kingdom is no easy road. You're not going to just walk your way up in there. So he's saying, like, I don't really know if you know what you're really asking for. I don't know if you can bear this plate that comes with coming into the kingdom. I think it's too much for you. You don't really comprehend what you're asking. Right? Let's continue. Are ye able to drink of the cup that I shall drink of? So he's not talking about a literal cup with juice or soda or Pepsi in it. Can you drink the Pepsi like I could drink it? No. He's talking about the cup of persecution. Because didn't Yahushua, we're going to read a few verses up. So we're going to start at 18. Matthew 20 and 18. All right, and it says, behold, we go up to Jerusalem, and the Son of Man, which is Yahushua, shall be betrayed unto the chief priests and unto the scribes, and they shall condemn him to death, and shall deliver him to the Gentiles to mock, and to scourge, and to crucify him, and the third day he shall rise again. So that this is that cup he's talking about, that cup of persecution. He's asking, are your children ready to drink of this cup? Because if you're not ready to drink of this cup, the same cup Yahushua drank out of, you're not going to make it into the kingdom. He don't want no weak, feeble kings or queens in his kingdom. He need marvelous and valor men and valor women. He don't want no little, no little girl that you could just get anywhere, man. He wants a king. He wants a king and a queen, right? Tried in that fire and coming out as that marvelous gold. He don't want to try the king and the queen in the fire, right? The so-called queen and king in the fire, then rust coming out. He not dealing with that. He don't want that. Nobody wants a rusty item, right? Just like the Most High don't want no rusty so-called having faith king and queen. He don't want that, right? And to be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with. They say unto him, we are able, right? So, his disciples are going to be like, I'm going to girdle up, Most High willing, I'm going to girdle up my loins, and, I'm going to get into the kingdom, man. I'm going to do what I got to do to get into the kingdom. I'm going to go through this persecution, Most High willing, right? They're not going, persecution, though. I thought you was a savior. So save me. Don't even put me in that predicament. Just let me go right under the rug. That's not how it goes. Because if that was the case, Yahushua wouldn't have been crucified and he would still be here today. If that was the case. Right? So Proverbs 27:1, boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. Right? So that's basically saying that, because there's brothers that's actually saying, I'm gonna make it to the kingdom. I am the 144,000. I bet $100,000 I'll make it to the kingdom, right? And you're not, for a fact I'm making it to the kingdom. The Most High said you must not boast about those things, right? True brothers that's in the faith for real, they don't know whether they're gonna make it to the kingdom. All they know is that if they continue to do their works, Most High willing, they will make it to the kingdom. The key thing right there is Most High willing. At the end of the day, if the Most High don't want you in the kingdom, you can't make it into the kingdom. That's just what it is. So you have to understand that there shouldn't be boasting when it comes to this truth. You shouldn't be boasting like, I know who I am and you don't. Right? That's a problem. You can't be doing that. Because the next day the Most High can strike you down and take the Most High can the very next day, the very next hour even, right? He could take your spirit from you and strike you down dead. And then what you got? Nothing. And then pass your spirit to that same man you was just mocking. So you got to try it on that thin line and give all praises to the Heavenly Father and continue to seek out the kingdom and doing the works and not be boastful, be meek, humble, right? And just strive to make it to the kingdom, man, according to the scriptures. Doing everything according to the scriptures. Not according to man, scripture. So we're going to go to James 4 and verse 14 to continue that. Whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow, for what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time, and then washeth away. For that ye ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that. But now ye rejoice in all. So, Slaki, I'm going to break that down. So he's saying, I'm going to start at verse 14. Whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow, that speaks for itself, meaning you don't know what's going to come the next day. For what is your life? So he's saying, what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time and then vanisheth away. That's how easily your life can be just taken away, just like that vapor, right? It appears for a little while and then it's gone. So who are you to come out and be like, I'm gonna make it to the kingdom, or tomorrow I'm gonna buy this new car, right? You could be on your way to buy that new car and get smacked by another car and you dead. Are you still gonna buy that same car you promised you was gonna buy yesterday, or the days previous, or the week previous? No. So you have to always keep in mind and say, Most High willing, I do this or that. For that ye ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that. But now ye rejoiced in your boastings, all such rejoicing is evil. So if you rejoice and be like, Slaki, but if you like going around, I'm gonna make it to the kingdom, and you skipping and prancing and telling everyone I'm making it to the kingdom and you're not, I'm in the truth and you're not, that's evil in the sight of the Most High. That's a wicked thing to do, right? You're supposed to go out there and preach and tell your brothers and sisters that, if you don't do this or that, you won't make it to the kingdom, and this is how you make it to the kingdom. And if that brother is in denial or he's trying to go contrary to the scriptures, then you get on him and cut him up with scriptures. But you don't run around boasting and I'm gonna make it to the kingdom, blah blah, right? You don't do that. You can't ever do that, man. That's like in sports, right? Say a team is boasting, I'm the best team in the world, no one can beat me, Then the next day they lose to a team that's 0-55, because you're boasting. You boasting like that is evil, man. Only evil things are gonna come after your boasting, right? You should never be a boaster. That's wicked in the sight of the Most High, right? Let's go to John 15 and verse 18. If the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you, right? So, the world is gonna. So this is how you can with process of elimination, you can truly see who's the servant of the Most High, right? These pastors, they're not hated really by anyone besides the Israelites. These pastors not hated by nobody. And these pastors are of the world, man. They They do the same things that worldly people do. So how can they be the servants of the Most High, right? If you're not hated for this truth, then you really can't count yourself. That's one trait you must have, that you have to be hated by the world, right? Because the world's gonna hate you. Even like me, for example, right? I post on my social media, right? Things that's to come, things that are happening now. Slack you. Things that my people are doing in sin, things that are contrary to the Bible. I'm telling them, you can't be doing this, that. That's wicked. The Most High is going to destroy you if you do that. Brothers get offended at that, man. You know how many people slide up and talk and say this and that, then get confounded. They get confounded and they leave what they tells and they behinds, man. Because this truth cannot be confounded. What man can confound this truth? You can get mad at it all you want, but you can't confound it, though. That's why when you're a brother in this truth, you got to take this persecution with a grain of salt. Not literally like, oh, it's nothing. Because that's also boasting, too. But you're supposed to take it like, I'm going to be humble. This is what I got to go through. I know what it is. I read about this already. It ain't nothing new. I just got to do what I got to do. You got to take it like that. Because if you get offended and mad and vexed, what's the point? Because you can't get vexed at a simple man. You can't get vexed at Jake, right? You can't. You can't let Jake vex you, man. Because Jake is always going to, and if you ain't know, Jake is short for Jacob. And we call you that because Jacob's, before we got turned into Israel, we were called Jacob, right? So we call the Israelites that don't know that they're Israelites, we call them Jake, right? Short for Jacob. So, Jake don't get it, right? Jake will slack you. I kind of forgot where I was at. But, Jake will get offended at things that you saying, right? And slack you if I went off of what I was talking about. But I'm going to get to the point again. Jake will hate you for this truth, man. Jake will try to vex your spirit and vex your soul, man. They will say things to try to get you to feel like what you're doing is useless and vain, right? But at the latter end, they're going to see that what you was doing was for a righteous cause, and they're going to look up and be like, dang, I'm a fool. They're going to look up and marvel and be like, in their heart, they're going to say, I'm a fool, right? So you can't let Jake get you mad because, like I was saying before, they can't confound this truth, man. They cannot. There's no way. They leave just staggered, man. But anyway, I'm going to continue. Verse 19. If ye were of the world would love his own. And that's another trait right there, man. If I was preaching his word and everybody loved me, everybody I met loved me, I'm not preaching the truth. Because that would mean I'm a people's pleaser. I'm a yes man. I'm that rug that everyone just walks on. That's what that would mean. But I'm not that rug. And other brothers and sisters that's in the faith, they're not Jake's rug, man. Jake isn't going to just walk over us. We're going to rebuke you with the word. It's either you come back to your nationality or we're going to rebuke you, man. We're going to rebuke you, and you're going to be so sick to the point where you, in your mind, you actually want to kill us. There's brothers that actually conjure those thoughts up in their minds, right? Like I said before, there's brothers that have said things like I have couple times I bring up Saki. I bring up the wickedness of these rappers, right? Because these rappers, they're teaching our people folly. They're teaching us folly, and I get on Jake for that because they're teaching us how to stay in sin and wickedness. And brothers will slide up and say, F you B, you a F and B, da 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 da. But it's like, come on, man. I don't gotta get carnal with you because I will cut you up with the word. And the word is cutting you up. That's why you in my inbox right now. So, brothers and sisters, well, mainly you brothers, you gotta realize when you preaching this truth, you are gonna be hated, man. You're gonna be hated by 95% you're gonna be hated by 75% of Israelites, man. And the other 25% are the elect, right? And the elect is obviously going to get along with you because you're preaching the same word as them. But the rest, the 75%, man, they don't want to deal with that. They don't want to hear that they going into a lower state if they don't keep the commandments. They don't want to hear that what they're doing is wickedness in the sight of the Lord. The same Lord that they say they go and worship on their Sundays, right? They don't want to hear that, man. That's vexing for them. They don't want to hear that. So the world is going to hate you. And let's get another precept on John 15 and verse 18. We're going to get John 7 and verse 7. Precept upon precept, man. Bear with me. John 7 and verse 7. Alright, and it says, this is Yahushua speaking. The world cannot hate you, but me it hateth, because I testify of it that the works thereof are evil. Right? So when these brothers are hating on you, right, they're really hating the Most High and the Son, the Heavenly Father and the Son. They're not really hating on you, because this is not your word. Me preaching this is not my word. This is my heritage. This is my law, statutes, and my commandments. This is my salvation, but this isn't my words. This isn't thus saith Calvin. This is not my words, man. This is the words of the Heavenly Father, right? So, you know, the world is really hating Yahushua. And the world does hate Yahushua. They don't want to say it, but they hate it. Some brothers, Slaki, hate him. Some brothers will come out and say it, but it's rare. Most brothers just stay in their pride and, you know, heaping to themselves as teachers, thinking they teaching something, right? Let's get that. Actually, not teaching something, but thinking they know something, you know. 2 Timothy 4 and verse 3. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears, and they shall turn away their ears from the truth, and shall be turned unto fables. But watch thou in all things, endure afflictions, do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of thy ministry. Right? So when you brothers is preaching, you gotta prove all things to these jakes that think they know everything and that truly hate the Lord but don't want to say it. You gotta prove it to them. Because when you prove it to them, then, you know, they're gonna start getting carnal. And that's where you know that you slice they behind up. You know how many brothers got carnal when we out there teaching? Or when I'm talking to a brother face to face, or texting a brother. Brothers get real carnal and start calling you a B and saying and talking fighting words. But, you know, the men of the Lord are not, you know, you don't just walk over the men of the Lord. I'm not saying, you know, we're going to fight you or etc. That's not what we're preaching. We're not preaching to fight other brothers and you know, because the Most High said, be not a brawler, right? Meaning a fighter. You're not supposed to be, and you see, even that, right? To branch off a little bit, you know, that America institutes boxing, and that's a sin. And y'all brothers love boxing. We might be good at it, but it's a sin though. So I just wanted to say that. But the Most High said, be not a brawler. But at the same time, you know, a man is just not going to just walk over you though. Right? You're going to cut him up with this word. And you know, if a brother put his hands on you, Most High willing, don't touch that brother. Because the Most High said not to avenge yourself, to let him avenge you. He's the avenger. He's the redeemer. He's your salvation. He's your help. So you can't just you know, when it comes to getting physical, let brothers just, you know, do them, man. Just let them do them, right? I'm not saying, you know, let a brother, like, you I really don't want to get into that because, you know, that's really another topic that I'll get into, Most High willing, right? But, you know, brothers is not going to just walk over the men of the Lord, though. You're not going to just do whatever you want and think it's all willy-nilly sweet, though. You're not going to just, you know, touch brothers. Basically, you're not going to just touch brothers and, you know, expect, you know, a brother to, you know, cherish you. Not cherish you, but to speak kindly with you or deal kindly with you. You're going to get even more rebuke, man. And the Most High, like I said, brothers, y'all not supposed to be out there fighting other brothers, though. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm saying that if a brother is getting carnal and he actually gets physical, rebuke him more, man. Rebuke him. That's getting to his heart. That's why he's touching you. That's why he's putting his hands on you. Or even getting carnal, right? And you know, when that brother walk away, he might get stricken down by the Most High. He might walk in the street, a car just run him over. He might die. He might overdose off of the drugs that he does. He might overindulge in things that he's not supposed to and die, right? Or he might go through a crisis, right? The Most High will always avenge you. Like, there was a time when we was out there on the highways and byways, and the brother was talking about fighting and da-da-da, you know. We didn't really pay the brother no mind. He wasn't going to really put his hands on us. We was going to, like, push him away or get him away, you know. But we wasn't going to put our hands on him, and he wasn't going to, vice versa, right? So, you know, after we rebuked him, he walked away with that same anger and strife and got put on his back by an old man in less than 5 minutes, right? So, and that's the works of the Most High, man. So you brothers, you gotta ignore these Jake that think they know what they talking about and getting all angry and carnal. Just let them do that, man. The world's gonna hate you, right? And we're gonna get Amos to continue on that hate real quick. We're gonna get Amos 5 and 10. Bear with me. All right, so Amos 5 and verse 10. And it says, they hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly. Right? So brothers will hate that you speaking the truth and speaking uprightly. They don't want to hear that. So that's just what it is. Enough on that, really. But actually, we're going to continue. We're going to finish John 15 and 18. We're going to go to verse. We're going to finish it. We was on 19. I'm going to start over there. I'm going to read 19 over. If you were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. So the world is going to hate you, brothers and sisters, that's preaching this truth and standing bold in the faith and standing for the words of the Most High and standing for your law, statutes, and commandments and standing in your faith and standing in your heritage. Brothers are going to hate you because they're envying you. They envy that you're doing righteousness. They envy that you're speaking uprightly, right? And all they can think about is doing evil. They hate that, right? Israelites are like that. You know, there's a saying out there like that, them crabs in a barrel, man. When one brother is trying to climb out, they pulling him down. Well, with this truth, you brothers can't pull us down. Only slacking. With this truth, you brothers cannot pull us down unless it's the will of the Most High to allow y'all to pull us down. But other than that, you can't pull us down, man. We're going to stand upright and stand in this truth. Proverbs 28 in verse 1, he says that the righteous are as bold as a lion. Paraphrasing, right? So we're going to stand fast and stand bold in his word always. Most High willing. Right? Verse 20. Remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. So you brothers will get persecuted. It's not ifs, ands, or buts. You will get persecuted for this truth. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. Meaning the words that, like, a lot of times the scribes, they like to try to use Yahweh's words against them and always failed. So in these times, they're going to try to use our words against us, right? Like how we tell Edomites that they're going into captivity. The so-called white man is going to use that and be like, they're terrorists. They're claiming they're going to put us in captivity. They must have guns and weapons. They must have, they must have these things in set or in place to try to overthrow us and put us in captivity. They're going to do that. They're going to misconstrue your words, if that's the word I'm looking for, or manipulate to simplify it. They're going to manipulate your words, right, and what you stand for. Verse 21, but all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me, because they don't know the Most High. And if they knew the Most High, they wouldn't dare persecute us. They know better. But, they don't know better. Esau don't know better. these other nations don't know better, and Jake most of all don't know a damn thing. They don't know better. They don't know what's going on. They don't know that the Most High is going to sharply rebuke them with fire and brimstone. Right? So let's get Wisdom of Solomon 2 and verse 12. And this is a very good precept. Listen to this diligently, and you should actually write this down if you seeking out the Most High. Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 12. Therefore let us lie in wait. And this is the mind of the wicked, right? Let's clarify that. Right? Therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doing. So there's brothers in other nations and heathens that actually say in their heart, let's lay in wait. Let's try to lay a snare for this man. Right? There's brothers that will actually, try to sift you out so they can do wicked things to you. Right? Try to do wicked things unto you. Right? They'll actually try to wait and slack you. They'll try to actually lie in wait for you and try to, set you up basically. Right? Because you're contrary to what they're doing and clean. He upbraideth us with our offending the law, and objecteth to our infamy the transgressions of our education. Basically saying this is the words of the wicked. So they're like, the righteous is they rooting us up out of the ground and telling us, what we're doing is wicked, right? They're telling us straight to our face that what we're doing is wickedness and that we're transgressing the law, and our level of education and understanding is beneath nothing, because what you learn from the so-called white man is nothing. You're learning from a caveman, a once upon a time caveman. Still is. They're disgusting. They're filthy, man. These are filthy beasts. Like, why do you listen to them? Why do you listen to them continuously tell you that you're a slave and you're nothing? Why do you continuously listen to people that persecute you on a daily basis? You're a fool, man. And the words I just said, Jake hates me for saying that, and hates brothers for saying things like that, because their education and their level of understanding is nothing, is foolishness, man. If you're not in this truth, you're a fool. You're a fool walking, and that's a fact. That's a fact, thus saith the Lord. Right? So let's get that. Let's get that in Job 36 and verse 12. Because the Most High said, let a man speak in the oracles of the Most High. So Job 36 and 12. But if they obey not, they shall perish by the sword, and they shall die without knowledge. So if you're not in this truth right here, and if you're not walking in the works or in the faith of the Most High, you're a fool walking, and you're gonna die a fool. You listen to the so-called white man, you're a fool. You hang out with the so-called white man, you are... Come on, man. Didn't the Most High say to leave your enemy, separate thyself from your enemy in Sirach 6 and 13, and take heed of your friends? Nah, man, Jake is off, and Jake hates that we say that, but we're gonna continue to say it. Most High willing. 13, he professeth to have the knowledge of the Yahweh, and he calleth himself the child of the Lord. So these wicked people, they actually say in their mind, he claims he has the knowledge of the Most High, right? He actually claims that he's a child of the Most High, and we do. Verse 14, he was made to reprove our thoughts, right? And brothers like me and other brothers, we were manifest and given life by the Most High to actually reprove, meaning to correct you brothers and sisters that's off. But you brothers don't want to take correction, right? Y'all rather listen to the so-called white man, right? And reject knowledge. Let's get that real quick. Hosea, we're going to go to Hosea 4 and 6. So Hosea 4 and verse 6, and it says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. Right? So Y'all reject knowledge. Even when we try to reprove you of righteousness, y'all reject it. Simple as that. Let's continue. Verse 15. He is grievous unto us. This is the wicked saying this. He is grievous unto us. This whole thing is the words of the wicked. So keep that in mind. He is grievous unto us even to behold. For his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion. So, brothers hate that we live according to the Most High. Right? There's brothers that actually told me, I'm bugging for not listening to music. Because there was a time where I didn't know that there was righteous music out there, and I just ain't listen to music, right? Not boasting. I'm just giving account of a situation, right? Of this particular situation, this precept, right? And brothers was like, brothers will be like, I'm bugging for not listening to music. Well, I don't listen to Slacky. Well, I don't listen to Folly and Madness. Right? Brothers will think it's crazy that you don't listen to music. Brothers will think it's crazy that you don't smoke weed. Brothers will think it's crazy that you don't indulge in sin. Right? You don't actually go out there and have it predetermined in your mind to go and sin. They actually think you're bugging. You're crazy. You're of another fashion. Right? Slacky, bear with me. We're going to continue to bring out Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 12. Well, basically, verse 16, though. On to 21, because this is a very good precept. Wisdom of Solomon 2. And we're going to start at 16. And it says, we are esteemed of his counterfeits. We are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that Yahweh is his father. Right? So in the minds of these, in the mind of these wicked Jake and heathens, they saying in their head, we are esteemed of him as counterfeits, and we do. We think of you as a counterfeit. If you claim the name of the Most High, if you claim you know the Most High and love the Most High and you don't keep his commandments, we telling you straight to your face, you're a fake. You're a fake you're a counterfeit, man. Right? Let's continue that. He abstained from our ways as filthiness, and we abstain from the ways of the wicked as filthiness. Like, that's dirty. We see a brother, smoking, and we'll back up and be like, I don't want to be around you. And the brother will be offended that you said that, or you acting like that. Like you don't want to be around him because he smell like weed or he's smoking weed. Brothers will get offended at that. Or because they listening to sinful music and you walking away and you're not trying to be around. Brothers get offended. Brothers and your family get offended when you don't celebrate holidays with them. Right? They're pagan holidays where our people was being destroyed. They get offended at that. Right? So that's just the truth. Right? He pronounces the end of the just to be blessed, and we are claiming, this is saying that we are not claiming, we're telling you that if you keeping the law, statutes, and the commandments, your ways, and Slakia, if you keeping the law, statutes, and the commandments, you will make it to the kingdom. And maketh his boast that Yahweh is his father. Let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end. For if the just man be the son of Yahweh, he will help him, and deliver him from the hands of his enemies. Let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience. Let us condemn him with a shameful death, For by his own saying he shall be respected. Let's read 21. Such things they did imagine and were deceived, for their own wickedness has blinded them, man. And that's going into persecution. So there you have it. You brothers and sisters that's in the faith, there you have it, man. You are going to be persecuted in these last days, right? So you got to deal with that. And if you're not ready for that, then I guess you're ready for the lake of fire. Then. You're not really ready, but that's what you should be preparing yourself for, right? And let me get one more precept. Ooh, slocky. One more precept in the book of Matthew. Bear with me. Says, blessed, Matthew 5:11. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you for my sake. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven, for so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost his savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under the foot of men. Right? So you gotta rejoice in this persecution, man. You gotta be happy and understand that, at least you about to be persecuted for the name of the Most High, and Most High willing, you gonna make it to the kingdom, right? So with that being said, I'm gonna give all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, and we're gonna give all praises, right? And a strong shalom to the brothers and sisters out there laboring and doing the works, and again, shalom, shalom.